today about wanting to make sure that if the offense isn't coming, that they're taking care of things in their own end. What's your expectation of a line like that, where while they're waiting for the offense to come, what you want to see?
You probably answered my question for me. I want them to take care of their own end and be responsible in all three zones. The ability to defend and do it right and get out of your end quicker will allow them more time to attack offensively. I think they need to get the puck to the net a little bit more and find opportunities on second chances, not always off the rush. They need to win more face-offs so they're in the other team's end a little bit longer than what they've been. But the three of them have some work to do to get back to where they were before, and they're very capable of doing it.
We don't have to drive the net a little bit. We stop driving the net. He pulls up inside the blue line now. He's got no work on the back pressure.
Yeah, he's, teams are aware of him. They didn't know Leon in early November. Teams are aware of him. They know that he likes to make certain plays in certain areas, and gaps are good. Back pressure is strong. Particularly this team we're going to play tonight. They made the decision at some point to really commit their high-end players, everybody in their lineup, to checking, and they check to win. And in my opinion, they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league right now.
Todd, I know you've probably answered this a million times, but we haven't seen Connor McDavid yet. Can you just tell us kind of how he's progressed in his first year and what makes him such a great talent?
Well, his progression come to camp with a lot of pressure and the spotlight on him. Start out a little bit slow, trying to figure out where he fits and how he belongs. Gave himself permission to really get going, and then got hurt quickly. Frustrating rehab for longer than he would have liked and all of us would have liked. Came back healthy and has been a very good player for us since. What makes him good, there's so many tools in his toolbox. There's the obvious speed, but he's got quick hands and quick reads. He can strip pucks and get going the other way. Makes other people around him better with his vision. But he's still 19. He's still learning the league. He's still learning to fight through matchups. He's still learning what to do in the face-off circle. And there's a big load on him right now, and he's handling it quite well.
Todd, you talked about matchups. The Ducks have Kessler. He wins a lot of draws, and they make no bones about the fact that they want him against a guy like McDavid.
Yep.
How hard do you work to avoid that matchup?
In some sense, this may sound strange. I don't mind some of our young players playing against that. That's part of our evolution. That's part of our ability for players to get through that. Based on where we are in scheduling, standings, that type of stuff, it's not a bad thing. They learn what it's going to feel like sometimes in the playoffs. And often when you're at home and Kessler wins a face-off, he gets off, it's easier to get your match on the road than it is at home because you can change real quick and get your guys out there. So Leon, Connor, those type of players playing against the Kessler, playing against Jonathan Toews, Antti Kopitar, it's good experience for them. At this time of the year. Would we like to avoid it? Of course we would, but it's not a bad thing sometimes.
Todd, you mentioned face-offs. You've got young centermen. It's not uncommon for them to take some time to get their feet wet and to get their sea legs there. What's your experience for an expectation for young centermen to start becoming more effective?
It's a good question. We did a study. We took some of the top centermen and went back to their initial rookie year and looked at their numbers and where they're at now, and it's astronomical, the improvement in Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Toews, Antti Kopitar. I don't even know if we went all the way back to Getzlav's year, but they were all in that low 40s, and as they get stronger, smarter, more crafty, and believe it or not, have a better relationship as a veteran centerman with the linesman, things tend to go your way a little bit. So we've got a 19 and a 20-year-old in there that are still building those relationships with linesmen, and we think they'll improve as time goes on for all of those reasons.
Going back to Taylor and his struggles, as a coach, do you kind of just let him try and work through it himself, or do you guys look at?
No, we work with him. I sat with him yesterday, and we went through some areas of his game, and it's not always negative. We're not always bringing him in and whacking him. We're showing him things that he's done well, and can he build off of those things when he's going well. I think every player has a foundation. When they're going well, they feel good because these things are happening. And how do you make those things happen? Because they're going to occur before the goal. They're going to occur before the assist. And you've got to make those things happen. So reviewed what he does well and what that line does well. It's a matter of getting them up and running again.
What have you seen, what is the difference there? Is it just the pucks not going in for them, or they do little things?
Well, we're talking about the three of them now, or one? Yeah, and I'd like to talk about the three, because I think the three are it's all interaction with the three. I think that they're more of a rush line before they were a good cycle line. They would damage and attack off the rush, but they kept plays alive, and they were able to get the second chances and sustain attack, and that's not happening as much for them right now. So they need to do a better job of that.
Lineup changes.
Potentially, we still have that flu bug going through, so we've got forward that didn't skate today that's not feeling real well, so we'll see. Anton could get his opportunity.
What do you need to see from Anton, if you
What?
could say?
A confident game. I sat with Anton and we talked about his year. Told he was a slow starter. He had a great training camp. Came out of the training camp, we put him in situations where we thought he could succeed as high as the third line center on the power play. Things didn't happen for him. Okay, so now let's become a good penalty killer. Accepted that role, but there's still more there. And we took him out for individual games, give him a little wake-up call. Now it's been an extended period. How does he respond? Play hard, play confident, play like he can, and prove to himself, his teammates, and us that he's a full-time NHL player.
What's your feeling? Taylor breaks a lot of sticks. What's your feeling when you're behind the bench and guys keep breaking their sticks?
Breaking a lot of sticks.
I mean, Taylor, every time he takes a shot, he's broken about 25 to 36.
So on the boards or like shooting? Okay, because that happens sometimes too. I had to clarify. What's my I don't know, like the players, I wonder if it happens in baseball with bats or, I don't know, what other sports, tennis rackets, like they're so fine-tuning things now that the companies are making them thin, lighter, flex this, flex that. We played a game where it was really to our advantage. I forget who it was, but they broke stick after stick after stick on the power play, and they just kept going to the box, and our penalty kill looked good. All we had to do was avoid the shrapnel on the ice. So I really don't have an opinion or a comment. I wish they wouldn't break, but they do. So no, I just had a big club, and the wooden sticks didn't break as much, but I'm sure the shots weren't as. I don't know if Shea Weber would have a 108-mile-an-hour shot with that old piece of pine or whatever we used, oak, back in the day.
How do you feel about the other kind of broken sticks? The frustration breaks and
It happens. Yep. Need to ask the old goalies in here if they like the old sticks or the new sticks.
I wasn't around for the next.
Smart, you got out in time.
Just the challenge of facing Getzlaf and Perry split up as opposed to, and I apologize if this was.
No, that's okay.
As opposed to those two guys together.
Well, I think that they're both tremendous players, and they play well together. They play well apart. Their team has obviously really made a move and move forward, and I think they've been a big part of it, but it's been the group as a whole. So 0 in on 10 or 0 in on Getzlaf, somebody else is going to make you pay right now. So we have to play against that team as a whole. Raquel, I think, has made a huge stride in his game, the ability to take more minutes on and be offensively effective. It allows them to do that, and he's picked right up where maybe you take Getzlaf away. He's been able to do that for them. So they're dynamic in all 3-4 lines.
Todd, for your defenseman, what do you see as the best way to contend with Anaheim's cycle game when they get in their end?
Play in their end, if it's that easy, but it's not. They're big, strong. They do a real good job down low behind the net, lots of wraps of jams, poking away at second pucks, and then anything up high, they use width, and their D are mobile, so it's a very effective combination. Their D are able to get pucks to the net a lot, and that starts the cycle. So positioning, breaking out clean. I think most teams right now that are having success are coming out of their end like that. Teams that are struggling a little bit are spending too much time in their zone. Anaheim comes out of their end pretty good right now.